Hi, I'm Tish and welcome back to my channel Auto Social UK. Now me and the Kia Sportage have something a little bit in common. We're both edging closer and closer to 30. Okay, I'm first, but the Kia Sportage was launched in the UK in 1995 and since then there's been quite a few models, but it has been Kia's biggest selling model in the UK, in Europe, even the world. The Sportage has been a home run. It's hit it out the park every time. But is the 2022 model going to follow in that car's footsteps? Is it still such a cult classic, a perfect family SUV? Well, hopefully that's what we're going to find out today. So if that sounds good, then please keep watching. And if you like new car reviews and car content, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Okay, let's start by talking about the exterior of the Kia Sportage. Now, of course, if you guys have followed the channel for a little while, you'll know that I gave the Kia EV6 my title for the best looking car to come out of 2021. And is the Sportage due to follow in that car's footsteps? Well, I mean, let's face it, looking at this car now, it is clear that Kia are going a very good place with their designs. This car looks fantastic. The Kia Sportage was always a fantastic family car, but it was a little bit plump, a little bit friendly, a little bit soft looking. This is something altogether much different. It has much more road presence. It's far more aggressive, more angular, and might I say, quite sporty in this GT line trim. There are many elements of this car which have been shared with the Kia EV6, and that definitely can't be a bad thing. It's a fantastic looking car, but the Sportage definitely has its own identity. You can tell that this is far more a classic SUV. Unlike the sleek Kia EV6, this is a bit more rugged, and you can see that from the front of the car. It has a far more conventional grille. You've also got those fantastic light signatures with the C-shaped design across the front of the light. A lot of my subscribers agreed with me that they love where Kia are taking their designs and they would have loved a Kia EV6, but they either don't quite have the money or they don't really want to go electric yet. Well, the Kia Sportage could be for you because this car comes in almost all the fuels that you could need. You've got the standard petrol, you've also got a diesel, still doing a diesel. You've also got a mild hybrid, a strong hybrid, which is the one I've got today, and then you've also going to have a plug-in hybrid towards the end of the year. There is so many options to fit so many needs. In fact, from launch, there's actually 8 different powertrains for the Kia Sportage, so it can get a little bit overwhelming. There's also 5 different trim levels. The entry level, 2, and then you have the GT line, the 3, the 4, and the top spec that I have today, GT Line S. Yes, it can get a little bit overwhelming with all of those drivetrains and all of the fuel combinations and then the spec levels. There's actually 18 different variants of Kia Sportage. If you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed, what I would say is just get on the phone to your local dealer. Write down what is important to you and your journeys that you're making, and they'll find a Sportage that's going to fit into your life. The one that I have is the 1.6 litre strong hybrid all-wheel drive top spec GT Line S. That fantastic amount of choice is also carried along to the alloy wheels and the colours. The Kia Sportage comes in 10 different colour variations, and on this top spec GT Line S you can also get a black roof with matching door mirrors, which looks fantastic. You've also got 4 different designs of alloy wheels, starting at 17 inches all the way up to 19s. Sportage by name, and now much more Sportage by styling as well. Thanks to the sharper roofline and these creases that run all the way through the front and rear doors, it now looks much sportier. It's actually quite a lot larger as well. It's 30mm longer, the wheelbase being 10mm. It's also 10mm wider and taller. So all round, the Sportage now has a much bigger presence on the road, and the interior space is much bigger as well. Kia Kia weren't about to let any of its rivals get any one-ups, and just like the Nissan Qashqai, the rear doors open really wide, meaning that getting car seats in and out of the back of this car is really simple. Loading things will be a doddle. Once inside, there's a decent amount of space. There could be a little bit more legroom, but for shorter people it shouldn't be a problem as long as you don't have a tall driver. In the back here though, it is really comfortable. I've got loads of headspace even with this panoramic sliding sunroof. I've also got a pull-out armrest with 2 cup holders. This middle seat, however, like the Kia EV6, does feel quite small, and you do have that hard pull-out armrest which isn't particularly comfortable. You've also got a transmission tunnel, so it means that your legs in the middle do sit up a little bit higher. However, compared to some rivals, it's hardly a bump at all. In this top spec model, you've also got rear heated seats and rear climate control with the integrated charging ports in the back of the front seats. Something that I wasn't expecting, but I'm so pleased to see, is that Aston Martin-esque design on the rear. You've got this extended spoiler because this is the sporty GT Line S, but then you've got that light bar which runs along the back and is carried across on all of the Kia Sportages. It makes this car look so sporty and sharp and interesting as well. Following this car, you'd want to know exactly what it is. Also, thanks to that added wheelbase, you've also got more boot space than ever before. In the mild hybrid models, the Sportage gets a very decent 591 litres of space, and you sacrifice only 4 litres in this strong hybrid, which retains a useful amount of underfloor storage. I am seriously in love with the interior of this car. I really love the Kia EV6 interior, but this is another step beyond that because they've kept everything I loved about the EV6. You've got those 2 12.5-inch sweeping conjoined screens which are so immersive and they feel so futuristic, exactly what you'd expect from a car in 2022. And then you've also got that fantastic switchable screen. I love this. So to control your climate control dials, you switch it to climate, and then you have passenger and driver physical dials to control your climate. But then at a touch of a button, you switch, and then you have shortcuts for your infotainment. You can quickly navigate to your map, you can quickly get to your media settings, your radio settings, and then these controls become the controls for your volume. How fantastic is that? The only thing is that I have heard the Kia EV6 has had problems with its heater, not sometimes working, and I wonder if that's to do with these buttons, and I really hope the Sportage doesn't have the same problems. But here's where this car goes a step above the EV6. Something I didn't like about the EV6 is I just thought it felt a little bit boyish. It wasn't particularly elegant. You had a lot of stripes and I felt like it would get dated quicker. However, the Sportage, this is lovely. You've got this kind of textured detail across the dashboard, chrome mixed in with some gloss black. Now I know we all hate gloss black, but it does look fantastic and there's not too much of it. You've also got these fantastic white piped black leather seats which look great. This is the top spec GT Line S, so it will look better than some of the bottom spec cars, but the interior of this car is fantastic. And I also love the fact that you've got physical buttons, shortcut buttons for your heated seats, your heated steering wheel. You've also got physical buttons for your parking sensors, for your parking camera. It's all so well set up for everything that I love about new cars. You've also got great little design elements like these pop-out cup holders, so you can comfortably sit your cups in there, and when you're not using them, you can just slide them away. Okay, so we're exiting onto a dual carriageway, so it's a great chance to pop it into sport. So press the drive button and twiddle it around to sport. We've got a lovely, nice change of graphics on the digital dashboard, and I guess I will stick my foot down. Bit of a struggle from that hybrid engine, you can definitely hear it, but you can hear I lost some stuff off of the back seats. Now that was really quite impressive. This is the four-wheel drive model, so of course it's going to have a lot more grip when it comes to pulling away at a junction if you want a quick takeoff. However, for a 1.6 litre, that was extremely impressive. Buyers looking for a petrol engine in their Kia Sportage will be offered a 148 brake horsepower 1.6 litre TGDI. You can have a 6-speed manual gearbox, but if you want a mild hybrid technology, you can opt for the 7-speed automatic. There's also a 1.6 litre CRDI diesel, available in 113 brake horsepower or 134 brake horsepower. The 134 brake horsepower version is only available with an auto box and mild hybrid tech. Okay, we've had our fun. Let's move the car out of sport mode and back into eco mode. Now there's actually only two driving options on the Kia Sportage, which is sport and eco. However, think of eco a little bit more like your normal driving mode. It's not like what we've got used to with electric cars where it limits all of your climate control and you have to sit here in the freezing cold, and you also can't pull away from a junction faster than sort of 2 miles per hour. It's a lot different than that. It just means that you don't have that burst of power that you do in sport, and also it sits in that fully electric mode a lot more often. So that begs the question, what is the fuel economy? Well, of course, this is the strong hybrid, so that means that it does run on electric alone, as well as a combined of petrol, compared to the mild hybrid, which the hybrid engine kind of just helps out the engine, but it never actually runs in electric. WLTP figures will say the petrol models will see around 42.2 miles per gallon, with the mild hybrid returning up to 44.1. This strong hybrid returns a very respectable 49.6, although falls to 44.1 with four-wheel drive. The previous generation of Sportage never ticked the box as a sporty SUV, and even in this GT Line S, it's nearly there, but it's not quite. But the good news is it's much better than the previous generation. The steering is sharper, the suspension's a little bit stiffer, everything feels more driver focused than the previous generation. It's definitely ticking more boxes than before. A very small issue I found, which was the same with the Kia EV6, is the touchscreen's quite far away. If you've got short little arms like me, you might struggle whilst you're driving, and it can be a little bit distracting to reach all the way over. This top spec GT Line S rolls on the biggest size wheels you can get, which are the 19s. Still not as large as some of the wheels that you get on the Kia EV6, but it still does compromise the ride just a little bit. It's a little bit bumpy and it is slightly noisier in this cabin, especially combined with the panoramic sunroof. If you wanted a more settled drive, then you might want to opt for one of the lower spec cars with the 18s or 17-inch wheels. It's got all the fancy safety equipment you'd need. It's got forward collision warning and lane assist, just to name a few. And this top spec model also has that really fancy blind spot camera, which I loved on the Kia EV6. When someone's sitting in your blind spot and you indicate, it comes up with a little camera. Now I love this because I always thought it was a little bit of a gimmick and I liked it, but I didn't know if it was essential. Now this morning, with all of the salt on the roads, in my own car, the wind mirrors were blocked. I couldn't see in them. So I had the little flashing light to tell me there was something in my blind spot, but I could barely see. Now had I had one of those cameras, hopefully it wouldn't be covered in salt as well, I would have been able to see what was in my blind spot. As a driver-focused sporty car, yes, there are niggles when it comes to the Sportage, but then that was never really the intention of the Sportage. As a family car for occupant safety, comfort and ride handling, it's brilliant. Wow, Kia really didn't come to mess around with the Kia Sportage. You can tell that they still want it to be their top-selling car, and I think it's definitely going to be. The design elements of this car, with the quality, that 7-year warranty, that great reliability rating, What is there not to love? Yes, there are some niggles, but they are very, very small. And actually, a lot of the Sportage's rivals have far more niggles than this car. Kia seem to have just ironed them all out to make sure that they're ahead of the competition. And well done, Kia. A big round of applause for me. But let me know, what do you think of the Kia Sportage? Are you considering it as your next car? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video today, please go ahead and give it a massive thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from me like this, then hit that subscribe button. Until next time, guys, see you later.